All right, so the other piece that you're not seeing here is we do have a compact Logix PLC, so a Rockwell PLC that's across the building and we're all networked in. So there's a few steps that we do from the maintenance hub in order to get this set up. So let's go ahead and go into, the first thing I'm going to do is go into my node settings, and I am going to change the configuration source. So right now, basically the cloud is telling this combo gate how to react and how to respond to different nodes, trying to check in, things like that. So we're going to change it to where the control gate is actually the master. So let's save. And last thing I need to do is I'm going to go to my control gate configuration page. So here I can see we have, this is our combo gate that has one node under it. Larger systems, you might have 5, 6, 7, 8 nodes per gateway, just depending. Up to 12 is kind of our limit with our normal setup. If you have additional vibration channels or less vibration channels, you can get more or less into that gateway. So just keep that in mind, and we're happy to walk through with our customers to discuss the application and what that means as far as kind of how many nodes you can have talking to one gateway. So we don't have any unassigned. We're all set up here. Let's go ahead and export our AOP XML file. So there are some other files here. So there's a memory map file if you just want to see kind of what that data looks like. Really important in a Modbus application as well, because that's going to be what you use in order to set up all of your registers. There's a tool for Modbus integrations. There is a EDS and L5X approach that we used to use, and some of our customers are still using, but our custom AOP is what we're using today. So let's go ahead and export that file. So you'll see it popped up down here, and so I should be able to use that when I start Studio 5000. So let's dive into Studio 5000 and start a new project. And we are going to name this IIoT or PLC webinar. And so a key thing here is you'll notice that I am on Studio 5000 version 35. So this is the new one that Rockwell released back in November, and this is the version that has our AOP pre-installed. If you're using an older version, like many of our customers are, you can reach out and we can distribute that AOP to you, and you can ingest that and bring it into your Studio 5000 environment manually. But if you do upgrade to version 35, it will be automatically there. On our compact Logix, I know we don't have any modules installed. So let's go ahead and finish the setup. So it's going to go ahead and load in here so I can start to set up like any other project. So most of our customers are familiar with kind of how Studio 5000 works, because we are very heavy working with our Rockwell customers through our Rockwell distribution. So anyone on the plant floor who's familiar with this will be able to easily integrate our system in really about 10 minutes maybe to get tags flowing. So that's very fast. There's a lot of unique things we do with that AOP export that I just did. So our memory map is not a static one. So if I add in 3 more VBTs to this network, I am going to have a new memory map for that. And if I have, there's panel mount nodes that we have so that they can bring in different types of sensors, like 0 to 10 volt sensors. So if you wanted to get a CT or 4 to 20 milliamps for pressure or flow, you can bring all those sensors in, and it makes a unique memory map that we're able to export as an XML file that we can bring in, so you're not manually mapping all those tags. So that's something unique that we did, and why the custom AOP is really an important part of this integration. So let's go ahead, and first step here is going to be to add our device. So this will be looking for our control gate out there in here. So if you're in the general catalog, you can just search for Grace, and you'll see right there we have our device. You're going to want to go ahead and add to favorites, just to where the next time you use it, it's nice and available. So let's create this device. So I'm going to name this one. We'll do webinar control gate. And I know I have this at 10.0.75.12. When it ships from the factory, it is 192.1.168.60. So you'll want to change that to whatever you want to use within your, your different networking scheme. So next step here is actually bringing in that file we exported. So this is going to tell this control gate how to interface with the PLC as well as all the nodes in its network. So let's go ahead and browse for that. And there it is right there. So we'll click OK, and we'll say yes, and OK again. All right, so our device is now created. So there are some data types that it automatically will create with that if I click on the right one. So there's these module defined data types down here, all these GT colon. So those are all the different kind of data types that we're using and are automatically integrated when you import that file. So if we go up to our controller tags, we'll see our webinar control gate device. So here, if we go in, we can see these are the configuration tags. So we have system level ones that dictate wireless channels. So for our Zigbee, how many nodes there are, what types they are, that type of thing. And then we have configurations for our control gate and our nodes. I'll go ahead and get this online. So we'll go ahead and set our project path. And so I believe mine's at 10.0.75.10. So let's find that. There we are. 10.0.75.10 and go online. So it's going to have me download since I have a new file for the device. So we'll download that to the controller. All right. So we'll change it to remote run so I can see everything happening. So yeah, let's go ahead and look at some of the data tags. So let's go ahead and Isabel, if you wouldn't mind rebooting that gateway. So rebooting the gateway will establish the new communication with the PLC with the open forward to give it all the information it needs in order to talk to the devices. So let's wait for that to come in. We'll go to status. So we'll see we have our first, there's a 24 volt that we're supplying to this, but it is then stepped down to 5 volts inside. So we're looking at that regulated voltage. And then if we go in and we look at here's our VBT. So we'll see if we have any data from that yet, and we do. So perfect. So we can see, okay, we have 3.69 volts, which is very good for this battery cell. And surface temperature readings, RPM, and then you can go in and see all of the different bands that Isabel showed you in the maintenance hub. So it's really a direct reflection of what we're seeing in the maintenance hub. So from here, any controls engineer can build out what level do we want to have alarms, what screens do we want, how do we want to utilize this within our system. So it allows our customers who really live and breathe in this Studio 5000 environment to be able to get all that information there. So with all this data, we can go ahead and set up those alarms and alerts. The maintenance hub is nice because it's all done for you. So as long as you select the machine type you want, then you can send out that alarm, that alert via text or email. This just allows you to do it a different way. So Grace would be happy to share those thresholds with you to give you a good starting point to put into your program, or you can let it run and then kind of evaluate after running for some time.
So could you go in and change a setting on that on Studio 5000, or do you have to regenerate the new XML file?
That's a good question. So if we changed a small thing, if all we did was want to change how fast the unit's talking or something like that, that can be done very easily within the config registers here. If we did want to add a node or something like that, then we'd want to export a new file because we're adding in tags and those locations might change slightly, and we're appending basically to the end of it with our new VBT. So yeah, and there it came back online after we did the reboot. So the gateway basically, it got the new configuration from the PLC and kind of rebooted and applied that so it could readopt this now that we switched control as the source here, which I suggest for most of our industrial customers who are integrating this to have the control as your source of truth and what's telling the gateway how to react, to where if I do make a change here, it does impact the gateway. If you didn't do it that way and you made a change here and it was set to CloudGate, being the maintenance hub would be the master, then it would not be reflected. So it's just kind of a trade-off on which one do you want. Do you want to go into the maintenance hub and make all your changes there, or do you want to do it through your Studio 5000 environment?